Hey there, it's Kimberly with Knit for Brains, and my buddies over at SearchPress said, check this book out. And this is actually by SearchPress. It is the Knitting Stitches Bible. So we're going to dive in. Stay tuned. Hey there, welcome to my channel. This is Kimberly with Knit for Brains. I'm so glad that you're here. So recently, SearchPress said, we understand that you're wanting to get rid of some yarn. So we're not going to send you yarn because we don't have yarn, but we're going to send you books where you can use your yarn. I was like, thank you. And the Brit thanked me as well because he doesn't want any more yarn in the house. Anyways, and recently I also took a deep dive into my bookshelf and I was like, there's just some books that I'm not really using. I kind of wanted to condense everything, and just find a few books that gave me everything that I needed rather than just having a bunch of little books and I just really didn't use them. This book is, it is called the Knitting Stitches Bible, 100 swatches to mix and match and make. And this comes straight from SearchPress. There is no author. It looks like it's a collaboration. I love that it's kind of small and compact and bijou. So let's take a look. 100 swatches. Wow. So user guide. So the throw, so basically it looks like you can make a throw. And it says, Chapter 1 is user guide, Chapter 2 is first steps, Chapter 3 is simple swatches, Chapter 4 advanced swatches, Chapter 5 making up the throw. I'm seeing scraps in my mind. User guide. So here we go. Read these pages carefully. They'll give you all the information you need for making a throw at the equipment and materials required. So if you want to make a throw and use all these different stitches, it gives you the graph right here. Here's 1 and 2, and then I guess you just kind of follow along. And I'm assuming those numbers correspond with the squares that you are making. Then they've got the pattern abbreviations. Perfect. Nice charts, making a swatch. It looks like these are all going to be kind of swatch sizes. So here's some really basic information. The slip knot, holding the needles in the yarn. Long tail cast on thumb method. I love the long tail cast on method. I absolutely love it. But if you don't do it all the time, then I'm like, oh, I'm supposed to know it. And then I have to go and try to find a YouTube channel. And there's some that I love that make sense. And there's others that don't make sense. And then I waste my time going, is this the one? Oh, yeah, this is the one that didn't make any sense to me. So I like that it's right here in my book. I can just go right to it and find it. Okay, and the long tail cast on method it's really fun once you get the hang of it. Then we've got a cable cast on method, knit stitch and garter stitch. Okay, so very, very basic stuff here. Purl stitch, stocking net stitch, moss, love moss stitch. Such a simple stitch, so pretty. Selvedges, making a skein. Wow. Huh. Okay, well, that's pretty rudimentary. So we're going back to the basics for sure on this one. Casting on binding off, casting binding off. Picking up dropped knit stitches on the previous row. Oh, man, I hate it when that happens. I absolutely hate it when that happens. Picking up a dropped purl stitch. So there is a lot of basic rudimentary information in here. Undoing several stitches. How many stitches do you undo before you just go and you want to just frog the whole thing? That's what I want to know. Is there like a definitive number, or you just kind of go, because I'm in the middle of that right now. And I was like, do I just take the whole thing out? Checking stitch placement, joining yarns, incomplete stitches. A lot of great information here. All right, the laundry symbols. That's a great page to have. Because sometimes you're like, I'm not really sure. And I have had to Google that before. Like, what do these laundry stitches symbols really mean? And you don't want to get it wrong. Simple swatches. Garter stitch. Okay, again, we're starting with basics here. Garter stitch, numbers 3 and 4. There's a lot of pages in here, so I might have to fan this. Final touches for a neat finish. 5 and 6 garter stitch. That kind of rhymes. 7 and 8 garter stitch. Okay, so I wonder if these numbers are corresponding to the chart over here, I do believe that is what we're doing. So you could look at this book as a whole project book. Okay, and I like the chain. So basically you're just chaining a heart into it when you're all done. Chain with the heart. Yes, please. See? So basically you make all of these and you just make it yourself an afghan. If you made one of these a day, it would take you 3 months. It's not hard to make a swatch a day. That's how I would do it. I would look at it like my goal. This is my goal. I'm going to make one of these stitches a day. I mean, these aren't hard. You're just adding an embroidered star in the middle of it. That's easy. Definitely a scrap buster. Definitely a stash buster here. 100%. Striped garter stitch like that with the little squares. Didn't think about that before. That's cute. Okay. Look at all of those. So just the same things, just a bunch of different colors. Stocking that stitch with a duplicate stitch heart inside. Okay. There you go. And then we're just changing. So a lot of these are the same stitches. We're just changing up the colors to give it, you know, stitch definition and something interesting. Here is a diamond in the middle. Great. Love it. Moss. I do love a moss seed stitch. It's just one of my favorite stitches. Checkerboard. That's interesting. I haven't done that one before. Okay. So, and even telling you if you want to use lavender yarn, but again, you could just, you know, use your scraps up. That'd be fine. Or choose whatever colors you want. I would probably just recommend that you use the same weight yarn. And if we're doing a blanket, I would use something like a wool. Acrylic would be great. Milestone. Here you are at the end of your first 33 squares. You now have the skills to work garter stitch, stocking net stitch, reverse stocking net, and moss seed stitch. So it's sort of like an instruction book. And then you're making a project. And then these are the squares that you made. Brilliant. Now here we're getting into some advanced stitches. So if you don't know what you're doing, you buy this book and you are self-taught knitter. And by the end, you are a self-taught knitting master. Boom. Garter stitch, blanket stitch heart. Yep, got it. Love it. Fancy ribbing, fancy rib stitch, colorwork diamond, intarsia work. I love how this is set up. Thank you, SearchPress. I really like how this is set up because honestly, sometimes it takes a lot of time, especially when you're ready to get into a project and you're not quite sure about a certain stitch. So you have to go out and YouTube it and find it. And everyone on YouTube, and I know because I'm on YouTube, is a little bit different. So to find somebody who does everything that you need all together at one place can be a little bit tricky, and different teaching styles can be a little bit tricky. And so here you've got everything all compact, all into one spot. You don't have to go looking around, and you know the teaching style is going to be consistent because it all comes from the same book. I like that idea. Double moss stitch with cross stitch. I would have this sitting next to my chair when we watch TV with a skein of yarn, and tonight we're going to do a broken 2x1 rib. And tomorrow night, I might do a multicolored stripe. And then I'd be done with it. And I'd move on to something else. When I knit or I crochet, I do we watch maybe 3 or 4 different programs at night. So I'll do one stitch while watching one program. Then I move on to something else. And then do another stitch. And that's how I work through my whips at a somewhat regular consistency. Bobbles. I like the heart stocking net stitch with colorwork heart, single rib, multicolored checkerboard. Love it. None of these are complicated. The instructions, the pages aren't too long. A striped garter stitch, great, because we're going to be doing some color changing here. So that's a good technique to learn. Wavy rib, that's beautiful. Reverse stocking. Now, again, this is knitting, but you know they're going to come out with something like this for crochet as well. This is a great workhorse book. So this is what I'm going to put in my textbook category. Something that you want to hold on to, something that the stitches aren't going to be anything kind of funky or seasonal or, like in style and out of style. This is going to be a go-to work. And again, you don't have to make this blanket. You can use these stitches and make sweaters, cable. Well, sweaters you might need a little bit more measurements for, but learning the different stitches, and then you can take these stitches and make other things. Scarves, hats, blankets, or this nice little mosaic blanket that you're going to be making. Raindrops, that's a beautiful stitch. Okay, and it's telling you here you use the navy blue yarn, your lavender yarn, your purple yarn, little ladders. Oh, that's cute. Fair Isles heart. Fair Isles is a fun stitch, fun thing to do. 4 hearts, little flowers, wavy ribs, rib checkerboards, vertical weaves. Yes, love it. SearchPress brought it to the table. They found a niche, they found a need. They put out a lot of different craft books, right? Obviously. But I think they found this is a need where you want to have a good workhorse book that you can just turn to as a reference, a good reference workhorse book. And I think this is it. Open work panels, border cross stitch diamonds. Love it. Striped garter stitch. Here's your second milestone. You now know all you need to know about the different colorwork techniques and the embroidery and knitting stitches to make up that throw. How competent are you going to feel at the end if you get this book and you work it all the way through from start to finish? Now you have knitted the 90 squares that form the main body of this throw. You need to sew them together. As in traditional patchwork, you need to make them in blocks of 9 squares. Isn't that gorgeous? And then it just shows you how to lay them out. You got to block them. There's a lot of blocking that's going to happen. I'm not going to lie about that. And then you just sew them all together. So it's going to be just like a big, huge patchwork quilt. And then you make them up. And here's an index of all the squares. Wow. SearchPress. You really brought it to the table. I'm loving this book. Really, really did. This is a great reference book. Great reference book. This is actually coming out the end of September, September 30th to be exact. So I'm going to time this video so it comes out right about the same time as the book. You're going to be able to find this book probably in your local yarn stores, but I'm going to put it on my bookshop.org bookshelf, and you can find it right there. This is going to be a fabulous, fabulous reference book that I would definitely, this is going to have a permanent place on my bookshelf. Thank you, SearchPress. This is my look through of the Knitting Stitches Bible, 100 swatches to mix, match, and make. This is Kimberly with Knit for Brains. If you just found us, oh my gosh, now we can start and have fun. And you know what? Share us with your friends, right? Tell a friend, like and subscribe. And as always, I'll see you soon.